Balake, where is Balake at?
My name's Blake.
Do you want to go to war, Balake? I'm for real. Ron.
Ron here. Welcome back, everybody. Thanks for joining me. I like to remind everybody now and then that Grant Cardone isn't just one of the internet's most prolific con artists, grifters, frauds. He's also one of the biggest financial supporters of Scientology and one of the biggest recruiters for Scientology. This was on full display in a recent internet chat that Grant Cardone participated in. Cardone does a lot of online things like Twitter Spaces, Clubhouse chats, and it's amazing how much time a so-called billionaire has to spend. Somehow he's able to spend hours a day complaining with people on the internet about this and that and how everyone's out to get him and the Matrix and all this stuff. I mean, okay, I have distilled a 30-minute conversation down to like 3 minutes, and I'm going to share this with you guys. Guys, did you ever wonder, what does Grant Cardone have in common with Jesus, Mother Teresa, Tom Cruise, Oprah? He's going to tell you. Spoiler alert, it has to do with haters. All the most successful people in the world and throughout history, they've all had haters. So when Grant Cardone is criticized by haters, what you need to do is just think of him in the same club as Jesus and Oprah and Mother Teresa and Tom Cruise. And he manages to spin this chat into a pitch for Scientology. He's actually pitching Scientology in this chat in a way you may have never heard Grant pitch it before. So let me introduce Grant. Is he a scam? Yes, he is. But, you know, if you put a question mark after it, it sounds inquisitive. I hope the audio, let me guys know in the chat once I start this if there's any problem with the audio. I think there shouldn't be. So here we go, guys. Let's see. This is literally 3.5 minutes. I've saved you all 26 minutes of your life. All right, here we go.
They done it to Oprah. They did it to Mother Teresa.
They did it. I mean, you talked about it. There's Grant Cardone clickbait. You know, they put your name in the title just to get people to click through. That's the whole, you know.
Yeah.
So
and look, it's
okay. I got to stop it right there. Grant is obsessed with the fact that the only reason people talk about him online and criticize him online is for clicks and views. If I could show you guys my, you know, the YouTube back office analytics stuff on any time frame that you want to look at, weekly, monthly, quarterly, yearly, lifetime, Grant Cardone video, any Grant Cardone video I've ever done is not in the top 10 of any of my videos, no matter how you break it down. I actually lose views. I actually lose money talking about Grant Cardone compared to other stuff I could be talking about, but I do it anyway because it's just that important to me. All right.
Of success. When you get successful, bro, they're going to come. Y'all should actually have it on your wish list for 2023. I need and want more haters. Well, look what people say about Tom Cruise. Remember when he jumped on the couch? He was so excited about being in love. They distorted it to make him look like an idiot, which he's not. They did it to Will Smith. They did it to Kanye. They did it to Ali. They done it to Oprah. They did it to Mother Teresa.
they did it to Jesus.
But, buddy, they put Jesus on. They didn't just do it to Jesus. Jesus said, let's do it, man. Jesus said, let's go.
Let's
And then he
go.
says, you know, Jesus is like, man, I got some ideas, man. Why don't y'all do a little crucifix? How about a sword in my side? Don't kill me fast. Leave me up here so people can see what you did. It wasn't real to me, this whole thing that the press would actually lie about people. And then you're gonna be like, and you can't even do anything about it, because here's the rub. If you talk about it, it brings more attention to it. And if you bring more attention to it, they'll do it again. The thing about the haters, they will only run your name so long before it no longer works.
Okay. I'm going to pause it here and I'm going to comment on something. So Grant is trying to give himself an excuse, an out for not responding to the very specific allegations that I've made on my channel. that Grant has effectively stolen over $100 million of profit from his Cardone Capital investors by front running them on the properties his investors are already paying him to find for them. Grant collects a 1% acquisition fee when he purchases a property with his investors' money. The incentive system means he's actually incentivized to pay as much for these properties as possible. Well, the problem is Grant finds these properties and buys them himself first, and then sells the properties at a ridiculous markup to his investors. So he's front running them by pocketing that profit right off the bat. Plus, he collects the 1% acquisition fee for them. Now, it's one thing to say, don't respond to haters. In some respects, that's actually very good advice. I've taken that advice myself, not that I think of haters. If you've done a very good, genuine, honest job of trying to explain yourself clearly, and certain people seem dedicated to either misunderstanding or intentionally mischaracterizing you, I think there's something to be said for the fact of don't waste your breath trying to further explain yourself when you've already done it. Do you know what I mean? Like if someone's dedicated to misunderstanding you or misrepresenting you, there's nothing you're going to say that's going to change that. Don't waste your breath. However, Grant is trying to give himself an excuse to not respond at all to allegations of serious misconduct. Plus, Grant is or was under a very close and thorough investigation by the FBI that include undercover wiretapping, surveillance, trash collection, shredding collection, etc. I have it on certain authority. He's also in the crosshairs of 2 other federal agencies. And Grant has another problem. He's not allowed to say my name because I'm a declared suppressive Scientology has declared me a suppressive person. Grant Cardone is literally not allowed to say my name because doing so would raise my profile. So he's building this entire construct to make it, construct doesn't seem like the right word there. He's sort of constructing this entire argument for why it would never be the right thing to respond to haters, but doesn't make an allowance for, but what if it's not hate? What if it's actual criticism? What if it's pointing out actual malfeasance? Shouldn't you as a professional, I want to say fund manager, but I don't know that he legally speaking is considered a fund manager, but someone who is taking investor money, isn't it incumbent upon you to respond to accusations of actual crime? So he doesn't want to respond to those accusations because he knows he really is under investigation. And he also doesn't want to fall into the trap of saying my name and getting in trouble with David Miscavige. Okay, so in that context, let's listen to what he said here one more time.
And then they will move to someone else.
Hold on, come on.
They're going to run on Tom. They're going to run on, and you can't even do anything about it because here's the rub. If you talk about it, it brings more attention to it. And if you bring more attention to it, they'll do it again. The thing about the haters, they will only run your name so long before it no longer works. And then they will move to someone else. They're going to run on Tom. They're going to run on John. They're going to run on Grant until it no longer works.
I don't think the FBI is sitting there running your name for clicks, hoping it's going to keep working. So, yeah. All right, let's see what else.
Okay, and then they're going to move on to the next person.
How do you deal with it? How do you ride the cycle? Because it seems to me you can take advantage
I'll
of it.
tell you how I did it. I'm at my church right now at the end of the year. About 4 times a year, I come to my church. My church is not like you don't sit and pray here. You go on course and you learn. Like I did this course on personality types, how to know who I should punch back on, who I should leave alone, who I should trust, and who I should just never, ever get involved with. It's called a course on tone scales. Because I'm educated on people's personality types and tone levels, I am not built different. I know you think I am. I am educated differently. And anybody can have that education. You guys should all learn how to spot good and bad people and everything in between.
There's one thing Scientology specializes in, and that's telling you who the bad people are, telling you who you should disconnect from. That's day one in Scientology. You've got the good people over here, and you've got the bad people over here, and the good people are the Scientologists, and the bad people are anyone who doesn't like Scientology.
People that are winning in life do not stop and hate on people. What do I do to get strong at this time of the year, man? I sit down. What do I know? What are my blind spots? What am I doing that's not good for me anymore? That maybe was good for me when I was 25 or 28 or 32, but it's not good for me now. 3 or 4 times a year, I come here and I just hunker down for 3 or 4 days and take a look at, okay, what can I not see right now? I'm going to give you guys a link to this little 200 question form that you want to do. It's delivered by my church, and it'll give you an analysis of where you're strong and where you're weak.
Okay. Now I want to point something out here. He's talking to a bunch of people who are used to doing a lot of business coaching, executive coaching, self-improvement, checklists, you know, this kind of stuff. And he just, Grant just made reference to a course where you learn about personality types and who you should punch back on and who you should have nothing to do with and who you should whatever. And he's about to kind of conflate everything he just discussed, which is one thing, with the other thing, which is a personality test that Scientology uses as a sales tool. Now, you're going to notice as we move forward here, some of the, I might have edited it out actually, because I've crunched 30 minutes down to 3 minutes, but we'll see. Maybe I left it in. He's pitching a personality test that serves no purpose other than for Scientology to use the results of that test to sell you something. But the people he's talking to think that he's pitching them some kind of a coaching tool. Pay attention and see if you catch it.
This is delivered by the Church of Scientology. I've taken this personality test, I'll bet you 50, 75, maybe 80 times. I've used it over and over to improve and make me more aware. So any of you guys that have been reading too many tabloids, you heard a bunch of bullshit about Scientology, trust me. I've been coming to this church for 20 years. It has done nothing but improve my life. I would not have the marriage, wouldn't have my kids, I wouldn't be a good dad, I wouldn't have my financial intelligence. So being successful is one thing. Staying successful, that's a whole other thing.
So he says, I've taken this test, I've used this test 50, 60, 70, 80 times to improve. Even in Scientology world, the personality test is not a tool for improvement. You don't improve your personality by taking a test. I mean, just on its face, it doesn't even make any sense. And but do you see that that's how he's selling it? This is something I've done that I use to improve myself regularly. He's literally clickbaiting them. He's bait and switching them into taking a test that Scientology is going to use to sell them something.
So I'll put the link up there, guys. You take it. You can ask them to give you an assessment on it, or you can just get the feedback online. It's an online thing.
Okay, so that was that. I do see a comment here where it says, sounds like crickets on the interviewer's side. No, that's mostly because of all the editing I did. I took 32 minutes down to 3.5 minutes. But the interviewer was also clearly not tracking with what Grant was saying. And Grant was clearly aware of that, but was letting it go. He just wanted it to go on and on and on. He just wanted to get in his little pitch and get the link up there. Because there was hundreds, well, maybe even thousands of people in this chat room. So yeah, I have run into a lot of people recently who still have no idea somehow that Grant Cardone is a Scientologist. And yet you can see in these business coaching, in the business coaching space, Grant has not been shy about trying to use his somewhat elevated position in these spaces to be, look at everything I've got. Look at the plane. Look at the helicopters. Look at the mansion in Malibu, the marriage, the kids. It's all because of Scientology. And it's like, okay, I'm pretty sure it's not, but you know, all right. Okay, I'm going to do some comments here that I saw, and then we will wrap it up. All right. Kathy Ann, Tampa Brad has Grant with a halo on his shrine. Does he really? I'll have to check it out. Lisa Marchbanks, Cardone just sounds like a smarmy tool. He really does sound like a smarmy tool. I mean, it's fun to make fun of him. It's a little sad when you consider Grant. It's not like Grant is just not respected by people who are jealous of his success. Grant isn't respected by his peers who work in the same industry that he works in, because it is common knowledge that Grant is a grifter and a fraudster and a shill. I just happen to enjoy doing videos about him, even though they actually don't even get that many views. to be perfectly honest. Okay, Dave Owens, those FBI and SEC folks must just be haters. Exactly. I mean, look, Grant Cardone is the Andrew Tate of Scientology. Grant Cardone is the Andrew Tate of real estate syndication. It's all comes down to the haters. All right, apostate Alex is in the house. Isn't Grant's 10x thing squirreling? Ethics, no. I'm not sure which part of it you are saying would be squirreling. Squirreling, guys, means altering Scientology principles. So 10x, yeah, I'm not sure. Maybe that's something we could do a chat on about how it would be squirreling. But let's see here. We have Randy Wilcox. He's Biff Tannen from Back to the Future. Indeed. I love that he mentions himself with famous celebs like Cruise and Travolta. Wow. Love the channel, Aaron. Thank you, Randy. Much appreciated. Yeah, Grant lacks all of the self-awareness that one might hope they might achieve by doing something like Scientology and giving them all your time and your money. But if Grant is an OT8 and an Uber Platinum Maximum Meritorious with honors and whatever the hell he is, and and this is the personality that you see here, which is the result of that. And the thing is, the personality that you see here is a result of that. Grant Cardone wasn't actually like this when he first got into Scientology. Now, Grant Cardone would probably argue, yeah, but I wasn't a billionaire either. Well, you're still not a billionaire, Grant. And at least when you first got into Scientology, you were a little bit more likable than you are now. But I know you'd say, I'm not here to be liked. I don't want to be liked. I want to be known. That's okay, Grant. Well, you're going to be in prison soon, hopefully. So, okay, we have Faluke Fache is how I'm going to say that for the algorithm. Grant Cardone, the reincarnation of LRH. They both grift. Did you get my photos? I emailed from the Canada org. Well, thank you, Fluka Fache. Chances are I did get your photos. I've been inundated with so many emails and messages. It can be hard to keep track. Actually, no, I do. Unless many people specifically sent me photos of the Toronto org, I definitely did get your email. Thank you very, very much. All right, let's see if I got anything else here. Uh-oh, there is more coming in. Jeremy Pasta, does Grant have a relationship with Wise? Every Scientologist business owner has a relationship with Wise, to the extent that they have to at least be a member of Wise. Now, there's a higher status of Wise membership where you actually sell business consulting courses licensed from Wise. I do not think Grant does that, but I can't be sure. There's also a version of Wise membership where you have your own in-house Scientology course room where you deliver Wise courses. And I'm not sure if Grant has that. I just don't know. Kate Olson just wanted to send some love and say I couldn't stand Grant Cardone even when I was in Scientology. I never got what the big deal was about him. Well, thank you, Kate, so much. Much appreciated. Yeah, I mean, I at this point, the big deal is just that he's a celebrity. In the beginning, the big deal was that he had a bit of money, and anyone who has some money is kind of a big deal. But Grant actually wasn't famous when he first got into Scientology. He was probably famous to car salesmen. Grant Cardone had a sales training company specifically focused on training car salesmen. And there probably wasn't a car salesman in the entire country who wasn't familiar with Grant Cardone in one way, shape, or form, to some extent or another. But now it's Grant Cardone's one of the most famous people on the internet, really. He just happens to be not internet famous in a good way. And yeah, thank you so much, Kate. Kathy Ann, is Grant a celebrity to Church of Scientology? If so, did Grant start out as a celebrity in Scientology or did he become one? Perfect question. I just inadvertently answered your question a moment ago. He was not actually famous the way we think of him now when he got into Scientology. He wasn't even a real estate guy when he got into Scientology. He was purely a sales trainer. And now he will tell you he doesn't do sales anymore. He does marketing. And that if you do marketing and your funnel is big enough, the sales take care of themselves. So thank you for that question. Much appreciated. Samantha Kermode, thank you very much. Feel free to throw a question in there next time. Cliffs of Insanity. Can we just have a t-shirt from the SP shop that reads SP or SP Nation in huge letters? I would totally wear that around Tampa, Clearwater. Well, thank you so much. We very shortly, we're going to be signing up with some sort of merch fulfillment operator that will enable us to essentially provide almost an unlimited items of merch, because we won't be personally handling the fulfillment. As of right now, Mark Headley and Claire Headley personally mail out every SP bracelet and bobblehead, and Mike Rinder signed a book and Mark Headley signed a book. So the problem with adding extra items to the SP shop, like t-shirts in particular, is that it's so labor intensive. But we're going to be, like I said, signing up with somebody to help us with all that. So as far as having a t-shirt that says SP or SP Nation, 100% that's going to happen. All right, Kevin, Les Grossman is plus 40 on the tone scale. Absolute legend. Yes, I would agree with that. Les Grossman is certainly tone 40. Serenity of beingness. All right, I think that's it, everyone. Thank you very much for watching this evening. Thank you to everyone who watches until the very end, and I'll talk to you guys soon.
Okay, if you want to see my rock and roll songs, click right on this guitar. And if you want to see a different one of my videos, then you could click right inside here. If you have subscribed or not, subscribe right here. Bye.